Welcome to Flowret's Storytime.
The Star Who Was Afraid of the Dark. High up in the endless night sky, amongst millions of sparkling stars, lived a little star named Twinkle. He was a happy star, but he had a secret. He was afraid of the dark. "It's just so big and empty," he would whisper to the sleepy clouds floating by. He would watch the other stars shimmer and dance, wishing he could be as brave as them. One night, the big, kind moon, whose name was Luna, noticed the little star hiding. Her gentle, silvery light spilled over the cloud. "Hello, little one," she said in a voice as soft as stardust. "Why are you hiding?" Twinkle felt a little shy, but the moon's face was so kind. "I'm scared of the dark, Luna," he confessed in a tiny voice. "It goes on forever and ever." Luna's smile grew wider. "Oh, but my dear Twinkle," she said warmly, "you have it all wrong. The dark isn't something to fear. It's the reason you get to shine." "What do you mean?" asked Twinkle, inching out from behind his cloud. He looked down at the quiet, sleeping world below. It was very, very dark. "Your light is special, Twinkle," Luna explained. "It can't be seen in the bright daytime. The dark is your stage. It's when you get to share your beautiful glow with the world." Twinkle thought about the sleeping flowers in the gardens and the little animals curled up in their burrows. He thought about children tucked safely in their beds. Maybe his light could be a comfort to them. A new feeling bubbled inside him. It wasn't fear. It was excitement. He took a deep, starry breath and pushed all his energy out. He shone brighter than he ever had before. From that night on, Twinkle loved the dark. It was his favorite time. He wasn't the star who was afraid of the dark anymore. He was Twinkle, the brave nightlight for the whole wide world. The Star Who Was Afraid of the Dark, Part 2. Twinkle loved being the bravest star in the sky. Every night he beamed his light down on the sleeping world, feeling proud and happy. He was a tiny nightlight for sleepy flowers and dreaming children. But one night, something was different. A thick, gray fog crept over the world like a big, quiet blanket. It swallowed the hills and the houses, and it made Twinkle's light look dim and fuzzy. "Oh no," he whispered. "I can't see the world. How can I be a nightlight if no one can see me?" A little bit of his old fear started to creep back into his sparkly heart. Even his friend Luna was partly hidden by the mist. Just then, a tiny, blinking light appeared below him, lost in the fog. It was a little firefly, zipping back and forth. "Hello," called the tiny light. "I'm lost. I can't find my family." Twinkle saw the little firefly, whose name was Flicker. Flicker wasn't scared of the fog, just lost. Twinkle knew he had to help. He remembered what Luna had told him about his light being special. "Don't worry, little firefly," Twinkle called out. "I will be your guide." He took a deep, starry breath, just like he had learned to do, and focused all his energy into one strong, steady beam of light. The beam cut through the gray mist and made a bright circle of light right where Flicker was. "Wow," buzzed Flicker. He could see the path now. He followed the starry spotlight. Soon, Flicker saw other blinking lights. It was his family. They all buzzed and blinked with joy. "You found us," they chirped. "That big, beautiful star showed me the way," Flicker said, pointing his antenna up to the sky. To say thank you, Flicker and his whole family of fireflies flew together in a circle, all blinking their lights at once. They made a beautiful swirling star of their own, right there in the middle of the fog. High above, Twinkle watched them and glowed with happiness. He learned that even when things seem dark and scary again, and even if you can only help one small friend, your light still matters. It matters a whole lot. The Star Who Was Afraid of the Dark, Part 3. Twinkle felt bigger and brighter than ever before. After helping the lost firefly, he knew his light was important. He shone his bravest shine for all the world to see, and his friend Luna, the moon, smiled her silvery smile at him. "You've grown so much, little star," she said softly. But suddenly, a low rumble echoed through the quiet night sky. It wasn't thunder. It was something different. Then, a streak of brilliant light zipped past, so fast that Twinkle blinked. "What was that?" he gasped, pulling his light in a little, feeling a familiar shiver of fear. Before Luna could answer, another one came, and then another. They were like bright, noisy racers, crisscrossing the dark. Whoosh, zoom, sizzle. The sky was full of light and sound. It was too much for Twinkle. He squeezed his star points tight and hid behind Luna's gentle curve. "It's all right, Twinkle," Luna said, her voice calm and steady. "Don't be afraid. These are the star dancers. They are very old and travel a long, long way. They are just passing through on their journey across the universe." One of the streaks of light slowed down, swirling into a friendly, sparkling shape. "Hello there," it fizzed. "My name is Zippy. Isn't this a wonderful night for a dance?" Twinkle peeked out from behind Luna, still not sure what to think. "We're not scary," Zippy buzzed kindly. "We're just happy. We get to see so many amazing things on our journey. We paint the sky with light. It's the best game in the whole universe. Don't you want to dance with us?" Luna gave Twinkle a gentle nudge. "Go on," she whispered. "Sometimes things that seem loud and fast are just full of joy. Your light is steady and brave. Theirs is fast and free. The sky needs all kinds of light to be beautiful." Twinkle took a deep, starry breath. He thought about the little firefly and how his steady light had helped. He couldn't zip and zoom like Zippy, but he could try something. He focused his light and made it pulse, bright, then soft, then bright again. Zippy saw what Twinkle was doing and let out a happy sizzle. "Look, everyone, a rhythm star." The other star dancers saw it too. They began to zip and zoom in time with Twinkle's gentle pulse, weaving their bright trails around his steady beat. The whole sky became a beautiful show of light and rhythm. Twinkle wasn't scared anymore. He was part of the dance. He learned that even when something new and loud comes along, it might just be a different kind of music. And every kind of light has its own special part to play in the great, wonderful dark. The Star Who Was Afraid of the Dark, Part 4. Twinkle loved the quiet moments just before dawn. He would shine his last, happy twinkles as his big, warm friend, Sol the Sun, began to peek over the edge of the world. "Good night, Twinkle." Sol would boom warmly, "Good morning, Sol." Twinkle would call back, feeling proud to be the keeper of the night's light. But one afternoon, while Twinkle was napping high in the blue sky, something strange began to happen. A deep, dark shadow started to creep across Sol's bright, friendly face. The world below, which should have been sunny and bright, began to grow dim and chilly. Twinkle woke up with a shiver. It felt like nighttime, but it wasn't. Down on Earth, he could hear little birds chirping in confusion. Flowers were closing their petals, thinking it was time to sleep. "What's happening?" Twinkle whispered, feeling a flicker of his old fear. A gentle, silvery voice spoke beside him. It was Luna, the moon, who was almost invisible in the daytime sky. "Don't be frightened, little star," she said calmly. "It's my shadow. I am passing in front of Sol for a short while. It is called an eclipse." Twinkle understood, but he could still feel the fear from the world below. He remembered how scary the dark felt when you weren't expecting it. He thought of the little birds and the sleepy flowers. "They don't know it's just your shadow, Luna," he said. "They think the light is gone forever." He knew what he had to do. His light was a nighttime light, small and gentle compared to Sol's. But a small light was better than no light at all. He took a deep, starry breath and began to shine with all his might, pouring his courage into his glow. "Come on, everyone," he called out to the other daytime stars, who were also waking up in the strange darkness. "The daytime creatures need us. Let's shine together." One by one, other little points of light began to appear in the dark sky. Down below, a little bird, huddled on a branch and shivering with fright, looked up. It saw the gentle, twinkling lights appearing in the sky. It wasn't the big, warm sun, but it was beautiful. The little bird let out a soft, hopeful chirp. Just as quickly as it began, the shadow moved away. Sol's big warm light burst forth again, flooding the world with sunshine. "Hooray!" cheered the birds and the flowers. Sol beamed. "Thank you, little stars," he boomed. "Your light was a great comfort." Twinkle felt a new kind of happiness. He had been brave in the night, and now he had been brave in a strange, unexpected day dark. He learned that every light, no matter how small, has the power to bring hope, and that true courage is about shining your brightest whenever there is darkness. The Star Who Was Afraid of the Dark, Part 5. The night was a soft velvet blanket, and Twinkle was one of its most cheerful sparkles. He loved his job, watching over the quiet forests and sleepy towns below. "Isn't it beautiful, Luna?" He'd sigh to the wise old moon. "So peaceful," Luna would agree, her silver light making the clouds glow. But then Twinkle noticed something wrong. In a big, dark patch of forest, he saw a tiny bug stumbling over a leaf. It wasn't dancing and glowing like the other fireflies. It was just a little dark shape, all alone. "Luna, look," Twinkle whispered. The moon gazed down with her gentle eyes. "Oh, that poor little one," she said softly. "That is a firefly who has lost his light. He must be so frightened and lost in the big woods." A shiver went through Twinkle. He remembered how it felt to be small and scared in the dark. He couldn't bear the thought of the little firefly feeling that way. "He needs a light," Twinkle declared. "I have to help him." Twinkle shone his light as hard as he could, but the forest trees were tall and their leaves were thick. They were like a big green roof that his light couldn't shine through. "Oh no," he worried. "How can I reach him?" Then he had a brilliant idea. He would send a message. He began to blink his light in a special rhythm. Flash, flash, pause. Flash, flash, pause. It was a secret star code he shared with the glowing creatures of the earth. Deep in the woods, a family of glowworms nestled in the moss saw the star's flashing message. They understood. A friend is in trouble. They glowed to each other. They began to shine their soft green light, creating a glowing path on the forest floor. The little lost firefly, whose name was Flicker, saw the gentle, glowing trail. It wasn't scary like the dark. It was friendly. He took a deep breath and followed the path, one tiny step at a time. The path led him to a clearing where his whole family was waiting. They buzzed and glowed, so happy to see him. As they surrounded him with their love and their light, Flicker felt a warm, happy tingle inside. And then, pop, his own little light turned back on, shining brightly. High above, Twinkle and Luna watched the joyful firefly dance. Twinkle felt a happiness that warmed him all the way to his starry points. He had learned that shining your own light is wonderful, but helping someone else find theirs was the most special magic of all. The Star Who Was Afraid of the Dark, Part 6. After helping Flicker, Twinkle felt braver than ever. He and Luna watched the fireflies dance, their lights like tiny, joyful stars on Earth. "You did a wonderful thing," Luna said, her voice full of pride. Twinkle puffed out his chest, his light glowing a little brighter. He loved being a helper. Suddenly, a streak of grumpy light zipped past them. "Whoa!" yelped Twinkle. Then another, and another. A whole shower of grumpy meteors was whizzing through the sky, grumbling and rumbling as they went. They were like cranky space rocks in a hurry. The meteors were so grumpy that they started bumping into the clouds, making them grumble too. The peaceful night was turning into a noisy, grumpy mess. "Oh dear," sighed Luna. "The annual meteor shower is in a very bad mood this year." Twinkle didn't like the noise. It reminded him of when he used to be scared of the dark. He wanted the quiet, peaceful night back. "We have to do something," he said to Luna. "But how do you talk to a grumpy meteor?" Luna smiled her gentle, silvery smile. "There is one who might know," she said. She guided Twinkle to a quiet corner of the sky where an old, wise owl was perched on a crescent moon. "Professor Hoot," Luna said, "my little friend needs your advice." Professor Hoot blinked his big, round eyes. Who, grumpy meteors, you say?" he hooted softly. Meteors are just like little ones. When they are grumpy, it's often because they feel rushed and unheard. You must show them you are listening. Twinkle understood. He flew towards the stream of grumpy meteors. He didn't try to stop them. Instead, he started to twinkle in a slow, steady rhythm, like a calm, listening heart. Blink, blink, blink. He was showing them he was there and he was listening. One by one, the grumpy meteors started to notice. They saw the little star who wasn't zipping or shouting, but just listening. They began to slow down, their rumbly grumbles softening into a gentle hum. Soon, all the meteors had slowed their pace. They began to twinkle back at Twinkle, creating a beautiful, sparkling river of light across the sky. They weren't grumpy anymore. They were a magnificent meteor shower, putting on a show for the whole world. Twinkle floated beside Luna, watching the beautiful, peaceful meteor shower. The night was no longer noisy and grumpy. It was filled with a gentle, sparkling magic. "You see," Luna whispered, "sometimes the biggest, grumpiest problems just need a little bit of quiet listening." The Star Who Was Afraid of the Dark, Part 7. Twinkle and Luna floated peacefully, watching the last of the friendly meteors fade away. The sky was calm and quiet again. "Being brave feels good," Twinkle chirped, shining his brightest. Luna smiled, her light wrapping around him like a soft blanket. But then, Twinkle noticed something strange. Far away, a patch of the sky was extra dark. It looked like a big, shadowy cloud swirling all by itself. Other stars seemed to be zipping away from it, whispering, "Be careful! That's the gloomy cloud. It swallows starlight." Twinkle felt a tiny shiver. A cloud that swallows starlight? That sounded very scary. His own light flickered nervously. He remembered how he used to hide from the dark. Maybe we should go the other way," he whispered to Luna. Luna looked at the dark cloud, not with fear, but with curiosity. "Sometimes things look scarier from far away," she said gently, "and sometimes the darkest places hold the prettiest secrets. Shall we go have a tiny peek?" Twinkle took a deep breath. He trusted Luna, and he wanted to be brave. "Okay," he said, his light steadying. "Just a tiny peek." Together they floated slowly and quietly towards the big, dark, swirling cloud. As they got closer, they didn't hear scary noises. Instead, they heard a soft, gentle humming sound, like a quiet lullaby. And deep inside the darkness, they saw soft pulses of pink, blue, and purple light, glowing and fading like sleepy heartbeats. "It's beautiful," Twinkle whispered. He floated right to the edge of the cloud and peeked inside. He couldn't believe his eyes. The gloomy cloud wasn't gloomy at all. It was a soft, cozy cradle, filled with hundreds of tiny, brand new baby stars. The baby stars were blinking their sleepy eyes, nestled in the soft, dark dust of the nebula. The gentle humming was the nebula's lullaby, keeping them safe and sound as they grew strong enough to shine on their own. Twinkle felt so happy he could burst. He started to twinkle a soft, slow rhythm, adding his own little song to the nebula's lullaby. The baby stars seemed to like it. They twinkled back, their tiny lights dancing with his. Floating with Luna outside the beautiful star nursery, Twinkle looked at the dark, swirling cloud with new eyes. It wasn't a scary, gloomy place. It was a place full of life and gentle music. Twinkle learned that even in the biggest, darkest places, you can find the most wonderful light. The Star Who Was Afraid of the Dark, Part 8. Twinkle and Luna floated away from the star nursery, their hearts full of happy, peaceful feelings. "The universe is full of surprises," Twinkle said, his light glowing warmly. Luna smiled. "It certainly is," she agreed, "and you're becoming a very brave explorer." Suddenly, a tiny sound drifted through the quiet of space. It was a faint little sob. "Did you hear that?" Twinkle whispered, looking around. They followed the sound to a small, lonely asteroid floating all by itself. Huddled on the asteroid was a tiny creature with wings and a light on its tail that was flickering weakly. It was a little firefly, and he looked very lost and very sad. "Hello," Twinkle said softly. "Are you okay?" The little firefly looked up, a big tear rolling down his cheek. I'm lost, he sniffled. My name is Sparky. I flew too high, and now I can't find my way home. It's so big and dark out here. My light is too small to see anything. Twinkle looked at the scared little firefly, and his heart felt a pang. He remembered feeling just like that. I know it seems scary, Twinkle said kindly, floating closer. I used to be afraid of the dark, too. You were? Sparky whispered, his flickering light pausing. But you're a star. You're made of light, Twinkle nodded. I was, he said, but my friend Luna taught me that even the smallest light can make the dark beautiful. Watch. Twinkle shone his light, not super bright, but just a soft, gentle glow. The dark surface of the asteroid around Sparky was suddenly bathed in a warm, friendly light. See? Twinkle said. Your light does the same thing. It makes its own little pocket of cozy. Luna floated over, her silvery light joining Twinkle's. And when we shine together, she said in her calm, soothing voice, the darkness doesn't stand a chance. It just becomes the background for our beautiful lights. Sparky looked at his own little light. He took a deep breath and made it glow as bright as he could. It wasn't as bright as Twinkle or Luna, but it was his, and it was beautiful. He blinked it on and off. Twinkle blinked back. They were making music with light. Sparky giggled, his fear all gone. He wasn't just a tiny, lost light anymore. He was part of a celestial song. Don't worry, Sparky, said Twinkle. We'll help you find your way home. And together, the two friends and their new firefly friend lit up the path through the vast, beautiful, and not-so-scary night. The Star Who Was Afraid of the Dark, Part 9. Twinkle, Luna, and their new friend Sparky zoomed through space. My home is the best, Sparky chirped, zipping in happy circles. It has rivers of starlight and flowers that sing you to sleep. Singing flowers sound lovely, said Luna, her voice like a gentle bell. How do we find it? Sparky pointed his tiny wing. We just need to follow the star song until we reach the Whispering Nebula. But as they traveled, a thick, gray fog rolled in. It was a cosmic fog, and it swallowed all the light and sound. The star song faded away into silence. Oh dear, whispered Luna. I can't see a thing. I can't hear the way home, Sparky squeaked, his voice trembling. He zipped back and forth, but every direction looked the same. The big, quiet dark felt very lonely. Sparky's light began to dim with sadness. We're lost, he drooped. But Twinkle remembered not to be afraid. No, we're not, he said brightly. We just need to make our own light and our own song. Luna smiled. A wonderful idea, Twinkle. She began to hum a soft, silvery tune that pushed gently at the fog. Now you, Sparky, said Twinkle. What does your home sound like? Sparky closed his eyes and thought of the giant, glowing flowers. He began to hum their sweet, happy song. As Sparky hummed, his light grew stronger and stronger. It pulsed with the rhythm of his song, bright and brave. The music from Luna and the light from Twinkle joined in, and together they made a beautiful glow. The light and the song pushed the cosmic fog away, like pulling back a big gray curtain. And there it was, swirling with soft pinks and blues, the Whispering Nebula. You did it, Sparky, cheered Twinkle. I'm home, Sparky cried with joy. He zipped toward a tiny green planet where giant, luminous flowers swayed, humming his song. He turned and blinked his light at his friends, a happy, "Thank you," Twinkle glowed back. He knew that even in the quietest, darkest places, the light of friendship and a happy song could always show you the way.
See you soon at Flowered Storytime!